Hello folks and welcome along to the channel. We are here for WWR's Season 6 Round 14 outing here in Azerbaijan. Looking at the standings right now, we'll have a wee quick peek at them and see how everything is going to go before that beeping deafens my ear there. Let's see, we'll go to the driver's standings. Let's see who is up top. It is Jake, who is in the lead of the standings right now, sitting on 240 points, absolutely flying away from ARL. Both the Ferraris up there doing quite good points there. ARL in second on 154 points. 10 points behind him is Onsu. Then we've got King James in fourth on 116. Kadoy is on 98 in fifth, and sixth is Astube with 96 points. Lewis is on 73 in seventh, and eighth is Fake Scouser on 55. Then we've got Jay on 45 points. Ice One is in 10th on 30. Chuck is on 27 points, and we've got Trucker in 12th on 26 points. On 25 points in 13th is XDF1 Pro. Then we've got Scofie in 14th on 22, and Sneaky Turtles in 15th on 17 points. So we are now getting ready. We're going to be having a short qualifying session today, so it's going to be an 18-minute qualifying session. We've got ARL already in the chat. Welcome along. Nice to see you. And are you in? Yep, you're actually in. Nice one. In that other Ferrari. So we could see if you could extend that gap further over Onsu, but Onsu is here today, so we're going to be seeing how that is going to fare. Now onto this track here, first time appearing on the calendar on the 19th of June 2016, so it's about to come up for its about 10th outing soon, so not too shabby there for Baku. The length of this track is 3.730 miles, or in length that is just over 6 kilometres, 6.003 kilometre, so not very much. We've got 20 turns here, 2 DRS zones. We're going to be having 26 laps, and the tyres we're going to be using are the softest of the bunch. Oh, we've got Lingy in the chat saying good luck to all. So just getting everything sorted. There we go. So we're seeing some cars already come out. I think that Jake, who is the first one out on the grid, and is actually on intermediates. I think he's deliberately going to be starting from the back today, considering he's been dominating, it seemed, recently. So we'll see how Jake is going to do. See if he's just going to do a lap on the intermediates, and we'll see how close he is actually able to get that time. Of course, anyone who has watched the Formula 1 qualifying this morning, and anyone who is up early enough to watch it, of course, in Japan, the times are relatively insane recently. First 3 weeks just of Formula 1 this season, well, the first 3 rounds has been a bit crazy. The times that everyone has been starting, the races have been starting, sorry, is just maddening. But I'm glad that all the 3 rounds are all just right next to each other, so after that, the next one's not until November. We'll move a wee bit. We're seeing, oh, is that Silber? Is that Shoei who's actually first? So Shoei's actually going to be the first one coming down into turn 1. DRS is wide open, over 200 miles an hour, going down into turn 1. Nicely does it, keeping it out of the wall, being careful on the exits. The wall does tend to stick out a little bit. We'll go through turn 2 nicely. DRS wide open yet again. We'll go hard braking into turn 3, nicely does it into turn 4 now before you come up to the end of sector 1. Let's see what his sector time is going to say just before he comes into turn 6, 35.477. Gets through there quite nicely on them soft tyres. This is the part where you could make or break it. We've seen even Charles Leclerc bin it into there on sim racing and on in real life racing. Of course, we all remember that infamous line, "I am stupid." Well, let's see if anyone else is going to do their best Leclerc impression around here. Now coming down into turn 16, and it's flat out all the way to the line. These next few corners, there is no braking, it's just flat out, foot flat to the floor. Comes through there nicely there, being careful to keep it out of the wall, using that overtake button. And now as he hits that line, you'll see that rear wing pop open. There we go, reducing the drag across the car. Comes across the line, it's going to be a 140.873. So that is the benchmark for folks to achieve. We'll move down and see who else is coming up. Got Jay, but we've also seen Lewis putting a quicker time of 140.017. Jay goes second with 140.412. Nicely done for Jay. And we've got Srivatsa. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. If you're in the chat, please break it down for me. Be a lot easier. And Jake actually went quicker than Baku and Thatcher's. Of course, I think Thatcher's hasn't managed to get any practice, unfortunately. So, not going to be expecting much from them. But we'll see how things do end up coming along. And Sneaky Turtle, 143.819. I'm actually surprised by Jake's time on Sue, 138.673. Absolutely smashes ARL's time there to put that on provisional pole. We've got Chuck, who comes in second place, 139.623. So nice time there from Chuck to get that second place. We've still not seen Astube or Ivan come out of the pits. And just as I say that, the Williams pit crew are on the move, and Astube is now exiting the pit lane. Still waiting for the Aston Martin of Ivan though. Alright, Aston. Have a good sleep, mate. Good night, bro. Oh. Let's see who else is on a lap. We've got Baku, who's on a lap now. Seem to have done a cool down lap, and they're going again. Let's see if they're going to be able to improve on this 42.530. They are on the medium tyres though. So we'll see how that Mercedes is going to handle the streets of Baku. Through the tight turns 5 and 6, and they've got a car just right behind them. I think that is an Alpine, or is that? No, it's not Astube. Baku moving out the way. I think that was an Alpine, was it? Was that Night? No, it was a Lewis actually, I think. Was it Lewis? Yeah, it was Lewis. And Lewis is actually on a hot lap now. Just came past turn 12, where the Nizami Museum of Azerbaijani Literature is located, just off turn 12. Now coming into turn 15, just on the right hand side, there is the Azerbaijan State Museum of Art. As they come into turn 16, foot flat to the floor now, all the way to the line. They're saying, don't think I'll have anything special tonight, will be tough. Well, we'll see. You're currently sitting in third place at the moment with a 139.839, so not too bad. Onsu has set an absolutely incredible time as things stand with a 138.673. We've got Lewis, who just moved up to third place there, 139.736, just beating out ARL by a tenth of a second. I'm going to go further down. We'll see how Jake is doing. Is he just running them until they turn into slicks? Seems like that might be the case for Jake, just going out and doing laps on the intermediates. and actually manages to improve and go ahead of Dirty Taffy. That was not expected. We'll go on board with the Williams of Astube, who's just coming around at turn 12 now. So now turn 16 in that Williams. See how Astube is going to be able to do. Currently not got a time on the board, as we've got 8 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Almost ran out of battery before that DRS. Fortunately enough, it's not far to the line, and it's good enough to go just ahead of their teammate at 139.065, actually ahead of their teammate by a considerable amount, by almost 6/10, so over half a second quicker than Chuck there, so good result there from Astube. You see Ivan's actually hit the track now also, and they're just going on their lap, so we'll go on board with them. And they are sitting on the soft tyre, the C5 compound. Ooh, a bit slow into turn 1, see how they're going to handle turn 2. Bit of a big lock up there on that front left, that certainly wouldn't have helped them. Now DRS is open all the way down into turn 3, we'll see how they're going to be able to handle the braking into 3. It's a hard braking zone, but managed to do it quite smoothly. No lock-ups at all there. A little bit of a lock-up there at turn 4 though. Through 5 and 6 nicely. Got a Mercedes behind there. I think that would be Kadoy just behind. Hopefully Kadoy's not going too quick. And oh, that was so close there from the pair of them, actually getting right up close to the edge of the barrier and almost recreating Leclerc's crash a few years ago. But keeping it out the wall quite nicely. We've got Ivan coming into turn 15, and Kadoy is going to end up getting a big slipstream here, going all the way down to the start finish. That's if he doesn't get too close, that is. Here we go, and now he's got a lot of free running now, and after he gets through this left-right section, he'll be able to pull alongside that Aston Martin and just punch it. Now, let's see who's got the better straight line speed. Is it going to be the Aston Martin or the Mercedes? Now, it looks like the Aston Martin of Ivan's actually got a better straight line speed. Kadoy goes 4th with a 139.4, well, 5th now, with a 139.435 as Night Flash came across in 4th place, 139.324. Ivan a 143.295, not a really impressive time from the Aston Martins as things stand, currently sitting in 15th and 16th. Got 6 minutes left on the clock right now. Let's see, Sneaky Turtles are actually on a lap. 143.819 is their time to beat. Are they up on their time? Coming into Sector 1, they're up by a second on their time, so if they could end up getting through this smoothly, they could move up a couple of places, but we'll see how the improvement is going to fare as they go through the lap. We've got a little bit of traffic up ahead, a Mercedes, and I think that's the, is that a Williams? Oh, Kadoy is retired from the Grand Prix. That's at the castle section, and has actually done a Charles Leclerc, unfortunately. Oh, Ivan, Sneaky Turtle, sorry, getting a bit too close for comfort there at turn 15. Hopefully he could get that back facing the right way again. If he can, nicely does it. We'll move back up and see Thatcher's is on a lap. We'll go back with him in a few moments. We've got Dirty Taffy, who has actually done a better time than Jake, but Jake was on them intermediate tyres. So, we'll see how Jake is going to do, as he's just coming up to start his lap. into turn 1. Big lock up there from Jake, just on that front left. Oh, bit of a lock up again in turn 2. He's really pushing that Scuderia Ferrari as much as possible as he's on his run down into turn 3 now. See, is there going to be any lock up? Jay has retired from the Grand Prix, and that was in the pit lane, I think. We'll see what happened. So let's see how Jake is doing as he's rounding turns 13, 14, and now coming up to turn 15. Let's see that white building in the background there. That's Azerbaijan State Museum of Art. Absolutely lovely building. Coming through turn 16 now. Gets on the throttle quite nicely. No slip of traction at all, it seems. Now all the way to the line now. Let's see what time he is going to be able to do. Is he going to be able to beat that 138.673 of the McLaren of Onsu, who sits on provisional pole? As things stand, to the line he goes. Yes, he does. A 138.222, 4/10 quicker than the Ferrari, than the McLaren of Onsu. So great time there from Jake. We'll move further down. Lewis not on a lap. Got Shoei, who's the first one out to start their lap. We'll see how well they're going to do it. Coming into turn 13. Currently got a 140.873 on the board right now. Coming into the end of sector 1, they're up on their time by 2/10. It's not enough to move them up any positions, as there's quite a big jump between Chuck and Shoei. Bit of traffic up ahead. Oh, fortunately enough, getting that rear end slid around. Lewis is retired in the pit lane. Nicely does it, coming straight to the line now. 1 minute left on the clock. This is going to be the last lap that Shoei could set, considering they are running on fumes in that silver right now. 140.873 is their time to beat. Can they improve on that? They do, but it's not enough to move up any position, so they are going to be sitting in P11. Who is going to be up next? Ivan is retired. I think that's in the pit lane, so nothing to worry about there. We'll see who is coming to the end of their lap. We've got Night Flash coming through the halfway through right now. Onsu's coming into turn 3. Jake has put it into the wall. I think he's trying to get disqualified. I think that's why. Yep. So he's parked in a dangerous location. So he's just going to have to get out, and he's going to be starting in P16. There we go. That's the checkered flag. It fell now. Anyone who is on a lap, finish that lap. We're on board with Sneaky Turtle, who's just coming through turns 18 and 19, just got the final little kink of turn 20, and it's flat out all the way to the line. But use up all that battery that you've got left there, Sneaky Turtle. There we go, using up what is left to the line. They move up to 12, 141.866 We've got Baku coming to the line in that Mercedes. 142.530 is their time to beat, and they do improve by 1.6 seconds. Deretafe to the line, not improving on their time. Shui not on a lap. We've got Chuck right now, next one up, going flat out all the way to the line on Sue. 138.273, that's the pole position time. We've got Chuck who's run out of battery here, going down to the end. A 139.248 is good enough for 5th place. We've got Srivatsa coming to the line. Goes P4, 138.976. Astube in the Williams. What are they going to get? Not improving on their time, but good enough to go P3. And we've got Shoei, who's just crippling back to the pit lane as they are out of fuel. And there we have it, folks. That is the end of qualifying. Right, so we're just waiting for Shoei to get wheeled in. There we go, that is the end of qualifying. And there we go, Onsu taking that pole position of 138.273. Nice time there. ARL just a ball hair behind with a 138.331, 58 thousandths of a second between Onsu and ARL. Astube is going to be lining up on third with Srivatsa in 4th, Lewis in 5th, 6th for Chuck. Then we've got Night Flash in 7th, 8th for Kadoi, Jay in 9th, 10th for Shoei. Then we've got Bucko in 11th, 12th for Dirty Taffy, 13th for Sneaky Turtle, Thatchers in 14th, 15th for Ivan. Then we've got Jake, who got disqualified and will be starting at the back of the grid. We're going to be having a couple minute break, and then we'll be getting ready to get going for the race. Hello folks, we're just in a little intermission right now, just waiting on the drivers having a little short break before we get into the main race. All yous who have just joined us, if you are enjoying the content, please leave a like, and if you want to see more of it, please subscribe to the channel. It is always much appreciated. Oh god. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look, and there we go, that's the grid as things stand. Let's see if anybody's doing some stream sniping, trying to get some tire strategies. So let's see. Only one person looks like is wanting to start on the soft, and that's Godoy. Quite interesting. So it looks like it's a medium hard split almost. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 8 on the mediums, 7 on the hards, and 1 on the softs. That is quite interesting. And the soft runner being in the middle of the pack. Would expect that to be possibly at the front or at the back of the grid, but middle of the pack. We'll see how that does go for the Mercedes driver and how the offset alternate strategy will work for the hard runners. We'll come off that now as we're about to get ready to get underway again in just one moment. So here we go, folks. That's the ready up just been signalled now. There we go. We've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4, 5 red lights. So lights out and away we go. We'll get the tire strategy up quickly there. Onsu looking like you managed to get a good start there, and Astube also getting a good one. Looking at Sravatsa and Lewis going side by side. Who's going to be coming out on top? It looks like it's going to be Sravatsa, and we see some bodywork flying there, and cars have been spun around, and a couple of them have actually got broken front wings, such as Shui. We've got the Red Bull of Thatcher's, I think, also has got damage. Has any other car got damage just out there at the moment? Oh, and Jake going a bit too quick there. So Jake managed to walk away without any damage. Has any of the Aston Martins got any damage? Doesn't appear to be, but Jay has. And he was saying that he was struggling a bit, but at least he managed to make it through turn 1 anyway. So nicely done there, but Baku's got some damage also. No one has anyone, hold on, stops, my mistake. So there we go, Jake moving up another place, up 6 positions. He's up into 10th right now. 2.8 seconds off of the car in front, which is Dirty Taffy, who's just coming around turn 15 now, as Jake just comes around also. Going to move up. See, ARL has actually dropped down to 3rd from 2nd place. Nightflash and Chuck also swapped places. Let's see how this is going to go as they're coming down to the end of the first lap. Looking at Sravatsa. My god, I feel like I'm butchering that, honestly. Oh, Chuck and Godoy going side by side, going into turn 1. It looks like Godoy's managed to walk away with it. Has he managed to get just in front? Yes, he has. Nice overtake there from Kadoi going up the inside at turn 1. We're going to move further up to the front of the pack, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any changes. Onsu's managed to create a 1.5 second gap there. Sort of chopping and changing between 1.4 and 1.5, so great start from him. We've got Shoei and Jay and Thatcher's all into the wall, and Shoei has binned that into the wall on the pit exit, and that is going to be a virtual safety car. That is not an ideal location for a car, and that's a bit unfortunate there for Shoei, who's only managed to last 2 laps. Terrible start, and unfortunately has binned it now. We've got Baku, who's actually got some damage too. Hopefully he can get back in and get that fixed soon enough. Go on to the tyre strategy right now. So Kadoi being the only one on the soft tyres, everyone else on the mediums or the hards. And it's time for Kadoi to do a soft, hard, then a medium. So quite interesting. It's in 2-stop for Kadoi. Let's see if that is going to be the case. I know sometimes you are on that threshold, and it likes to usually play the safe option. Like I remember it would tell you to do an extra pit stop with at Brazil, and you could do a 1-stop there on soft mediums. But let's see, when is a safety car going to end? Oh, they're playing with the delta there, and it looks like it's not finished just yet. It looks like it is now though, and this pack has bunched up quite a bit here behind the ass tube. Let's see, is ARL going to get close enough? Nope, he's pulling out just to try and get a little bit of air resistance for braking to help slow the car down a bit quicker. We've got Jake, who's managed to move up into 9th place now over Dirty Taffy there on the hard compound. So Jake managing to do a quite good out, and Buckle into the pits now. We've got them tyres changed, got that new front wing on the front of that Mercedes. All the while he's got Thatcher, who had to take avoidant actions, trying to reverse to get back on track. Hopefully it doesn't disqualify him. Come on. Get back running again. Come on, turn. And that's a bit unfortunate. It's not Thatcher's not having the luck right now. And it's a bit unfortunate there. I think Thatcher's is we'll just keep an eye on the minimap and see how things are going for them. We'll go with ARL off this lovely helicopter shot. Thatcher's managed to get that car going again. I'm not sure, doesn't look like it at the moment, but he's just been disqualified. That's a bit unfortunate, but as ARL has now moved up into 2nd place, you can see that Red Bull parked in a very dangerous location. Hopefully no one ends up locking up going into turn 2. And keep an eye on the background and see. Doesn't look like it. Moving up at the front, not any activity just yet, but we've got Night Flash who's went straight on. Oh, and he has reset to track on lap 4. That we know in league racing is a big no-no. You're not allowed to do that. I think there's only special circumstances that you can do that at, and I think one of them is such as Monaco. I think in other cases you have to try and get back online yourself manually. So Night Flash may be looking at a penalty, but we'll see how that goes later on after the race. Of course, it can't be applied right away, but we'll see how things are going to go. We've got Sravatsa, Astube and ARL still fighting out for that second position right now. Onsu's not managing to pull away as much as he would have hoped just yet. Only 1.8 seconds ahead as he just sets the fastest lap, which is then climbed by ARL in the Ferrari. He's just putting a 141 there. Jake going even quicker, 141.479. Jake is right behind Lewis and Chuck here for that 6th position. He's almost caught right up to the 5th place Kadoi, who only sits about 2 seconds ahead of him right now. Actually less than that. Coming into turn 3, not managing to make any headway on Chuck and Lewis just yet. Move further down, see Dirty Taffy. Oh, he clouted the wall there a couple of times. Any damage to that front wing? Yep, we got that missing end plate on the right hand side of the car. That is certainly not going to help downforce, and especially around turns 18 and 19 when you're flat out on that straight. It's definitely not going to be helping at all. Jake trying to line it up here on Chuck. Is he going to go for a move going into turn 15? It looks like he is actually going to try it. But is he going to manage to pull it off? I don't think he is managing to get up close enough, not because it is very, very tight there. Now out of 15. And all the way down to start finish again as we're on lap 5. Looking up at Lewis here, can he get the move done on Kadoi, who's on them soft tyres? And there's certainly, with this being a rear limited track, the soft tyres at the rear won't be doing too well, as we see him lose 3 positions, and Lewis moves up into 5th with Chuck in 6th, and Jake still sitting in, well, now sitting in. I hope that wasn't my connection that was going there. But Jake manages to get the move done on Chuck and moves up into that 6th position. Nice overtake. Not many places to overtake on this track, of course. Turn 5 being a very, quite an ambitious move. We've got Baku and Ivan swapping places. What's happened to Ivan? He's actually spun out, it seems, at turn 1. Did he make a pit? No, he's not made a pit stop, so there is that. And I don't think that was meant. That was just with the window being open, unfortunately, and it's caused a bit of a draft. Let's see how. Nope, doesn't look like Astube is making any headway right now. Oh, got Jake managing to get past. Oh, as Lewis comes into the pits, Kadoi still staying in 7th. Well, actually moves up since Lewis has pit, but Jake has now overtaken and is now in 5th position. Now he's got to fend off these 2 attacking Mercedes powered cars, Mercedes and a Williams right behind him. How is the Ferrari going to be able to hold off? It looks like he's managing to do quite nice. See how that carries on. So Srivatsa is the next driver who's going to be up for Jake to take. Onsu's managed to extend that gap to 3 seconds now. Srivatsa's in 4th with ARL and Astube just right in front of them. Because we see an overtake from Astube on ARL. We will soon see. He's going to have the DRS coming down that start-finish straight, in which he can actually maybe even get it done before that. He's alongside before the DRS is even opened almost. Just not got the straight line speed, needs that DRS to help him. Is ARL going to lose 2 positions here? Nope, it's only going to be 1 just now. ARL will have the DRS back going into turn 3. We'll see how the Ferrari is going to be able to handle that, and how the Williams is going to be able to hold off defending. Not a very good corner. Turn 2 was there, getting a little bit out of shape and had to readjust mid-corner. Certainly not going to be good to get back on the traction again. Godoy is into the pits now, trying to cover off Lewis, it seems. Now coming into the old city part of Baku. Got to say, one thing I do actually quite like about this place is actually the architecture. It's actually really lovely, if I do say so. It's quite nice. Better than the council houses you usually see around the place. Well, most of them anyway. But let's see how Stravats is going to be able to handle this. Is he going to be able to get a position? Don't think so with ARL having the DRS also. It's not proving to be beneficial to drivers having the DRS. But looking at ARL, he's closing that gap back in on Astube. DRS helps a bunch here. Going to move down to Godoy, who whizzes past Sneaky Turtle on them fresh hard tyres. And he actually does that before the DRS has even been activated. We've got, where has he crashed? Whereabouts is that? That's actually, oh, it's at turn 15. Turn 15, Dirty Taffy has binned it into the wall, but unfortunately, so we're now down to 13. We've got a safety car. Sneaky Turtle, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I will say that is even worse now, considering the penalty doesn't even get served until you come in again, and you're just like, oh god. But now Onsu is going to have a car up his rear again for the first time in, well, from the start of this race. So, we'll see how Onsu is going to be able to handle the pressure. Of course, he's been quite nice with it up to now. And it's actually running low on fuel, so he's going to be running that in a bit more lean fuel mix. So, safety car out. Let's see, Onsu comes in, hard compound tyres, hards for Astube, I'm guessing. Onsu got held up a little there, certainly not going to be fun for Onsu. Astube came in there, got out quite nice there. Is Stravats going to get that jump? Nope, he isn't, so he currently has to settle back into 4th place. Chuck in Jake, and also who's going to get out in the front? Oh, Jake just has to settle back down. Night Flash getting a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So we've had 2 folks here tonight with 10-second time penalties, but unfortunate there for the pair of them. Of course, they'll have to go all the way around the track again before they could even come in to serve their pit stop, even if they want to serve it right away. If not, they're going to have to try and hold off until later. So, Godoy's opted not to pit, stay out. Let's see, is Night Flash or Sneaky Turtle going to pit to get rid of that? I mean, Sneaky Turtle can, technically. I mean, it is only a 15-second pit stop when under safety car conditions. Whether that be able to play into effect for Sneaky Turtle and he could get in and get back out and keep that position with that 10-second penalty. Could maybe just do it, but he's going to have to kind of book it a little. If he can, that would be absolutely brilliant for the Aston Martin outfit. You're currently sitting in 9th place, could end up only losing one position at most. But we'll soon see how that does end up faring for Aston Martin and Sneaky Turtle. So Sneaky Turtle comes in. There we go, let's watch Lewis as he's coming flying down. 20-second gap. Is Sneaky Turtle going to be able to get in and out? I think he's going to lose that position to Lewis. Is he going to lose the position to Baku? No, Baku's coming into the pits off them hard compound tyres. Most likely going to settle on a set of mediums, I would imagine. So Buckles came in, so Sneaky Turtles managed to get back out without losing too many places, only lost one place with that. Who else had a 10-second penalty? Also, Buckle had a broken front wing, so we'll check instances. So it was Night Flash. So Night Flashes came in and served that penalty also. So nice to see clean drivers on the board. We're probably going to be waiting another lap for getting underway again. So on lap 11 now, we're about to go on to lap 12 where we're going to have another lap of the safety car, and we should be getting going at the end of lap 12 and the start of lap 13. So, all those watching right now, any predictions for tomorrow's Grand Prix would be actually interesting to hear your predictions. As also I did hear for some of you folks who may not have tuned into the media surrounding F1. I did hear that Carlos Sainz got given a 3-place grid penalty for impeding Lewis Hamilton, which I find quite surprising. I thought we would have let him get off with a fine or a warning, considering what happened. But yeah, he ended up getting a 3-place grid penalty, and of course, Lewis was already through into the next qualifying session. Carlos wasn't, and yeah, it's just a bit unusual, I will say. It's a bit unfortunate. I will say one thing though, I'm not a fan of Jacques Villeneuve commentating. I will say, not the very best. I felt like he was constantly talking over Crofty. It was annoying, to be honest. Anyone else feel the same about that? Now all the grid has bunched back up again. So we should get the message as the safety car comes through turn 15 from the race director saying the safety car is in this lap. So just as to come out of this corner, we're getting it. It should come up right about now. There we go. So the end of sector 2, that is when the safety car will fly away. Onsu will be the temporary safety car until that start finish line. So drivers making sure their tyres are up to temperature, serpentining left and right, creating almost like an illusionary snake. Now let's see, when is Onsu going to go? That is the question. We'll just watch that little green line at the bottom of your screen, just to the right of the 87 miles an hour, and we'll see when he is going to plant. He's going to be doing it as late as he can, which he does, and it creates a big lot of cars coming right up the rear. Let's see, ARL and Srivatsa. Is Srivatsa going to manage to squeeze through on that Ferrari and get up onto the podium? Doesn't look like it just yet. Oh, and we've seen Night Flash go a little bit deep there. Jay looks like they've managed to move up a place because of that. We'll go up to Jake and Chuck, who is going to be coming out of this one in 5th place. It looks like it's going to be Chuck. Oh, Jake turning in that a little bit too early and bounces off the barrier at the apex. No damage to that Ferrari, fortunately enough. Would be a bit different if it was simulation damage. But Jake trying everything he can to try and get past Chuck. Of course, this street circuit is very, very tight. Jake going for it here at turn 7. Holy moly, that was incredible. Jake moving up into 5th place at turn 7. That is something I never expected to see. So great overtake from Jake. Now up next is Srivatsa, who is on the hard tyres just like everyone else in front. So top 7 all on the hard compound tyres. Sneaky Turtles on the mediums, Lewis and Jay on the hard compound tyres, and we've got Srivatsa trying to get a move done on ARL, which he does, and they've moved up into 3rd position. ARL is letting Jake past, actually lifting off a little. That's going to definitely hinder them as Chuck comes flying up the right hand side to overtake ARL. So ARL dropping from 3rd down to 6th right now. Srivatsa is being overtaken by Jake, and Jake is going to be moving up into 3rd place. Up next is going to be the Williams of Astube, but Chuck is coming up the outside on Srivatsa, and is he going to manage to get that move done? I don't think so, considering Srivatsa has that inside line going into turn 2. Great defending there from Srivatsa to defend off Chuck. But now Chuck is trying to come back. Is he going to go for it? He's going for the move around the outside at turn 3. Not managing to get close enough, unfortunately, and he has to wait behind until the next opportunity arises. Of course, with this track, there isn't very many overtaking opportunities, so it's a bit unfortunate in some cases for that, but it's got a massive DRS straight. Oh, a few people actually lifting off quite early there, going into turn 7. Just being a little bit cautious. Kadoy almost scraping that barrier there, and that was a very close one. Some of these drivers are going right balls to the wall. Seeing how Jay is going on with Lewis. Of course, these two do love to battle it out. We've seen it many times in the past, these two battling out constantly. Great rivals of one another. So Jake's managed to create a gap on Srivatsa of almost 2 seconds now. So he's got that, and Chuck looks like he's going to be able to get this 4th place up the right hand side going into turn 1. Nicely done from Chuck taking that 4th position, but Srivatsa can come back here. Is he going to get the DRS? All he's got to get is a good exit out of turn 1. Now it looks like he is going to get it done, But there is a yellow flag and there's a virtual safety car, and just as he was alongside the front wing of that Williams, this virtual safety car came out and he had to lift off. He could not go for that overtake, so that's a bit unfortunate there for the Haas of Servatza. Jay unfortunately crashing out, but unfortunate there. So we've lost 4 in this race up to now, down to 12. And I just realised it is not a VSC, it is a full course safety car. We can see that little dot there sitting on the exit of turn 2. That is the safety car sitting there, so we're going to have to wait a few laps for everyone to bunch back up again. And this is going to be good news for Jake, as he's going to be right on the tail of Ashtube and Onsu, who are sitting just directly ahead of him. Are we going to see anyone opt to jump into the pits? It is going to basically put them to almost the back of the grid. I think is Ashtube going to go for it? Nope, opting against it. Hard tyres, they're sticking it out. Chuck's jumping in. Chuck's actually jumping in. Let's see, is he jumping on the medium tyres? So is ARL and Kadoy. Lewis also all jumping in off of them hard compound tyres, seeing if they could get a better jump come the end. Ivan and Baku, are they staying out? Nope, Ivan coming in. That is to be expected from them. So they're 7 and 5 lap old soft tyres, and they wouldn't be lasting very much longer after that. So into the pits to come, to put on another set of soft tyres. I think that might be a decent call. They'll be kind of running out near the end of the Grand Prix. And again, they've got a few laps to just take care of them. And just to let them heat up gradually. Don't want to be putting too much heat into them too quickly, or it does end up messing up the rubber and giving you a very terrible experience with it, and it could end up falling off really quickly, and the wear will just be horrendous. Let's see how that is going to end up faring for them. So from 7th down to the back of the pack, all on fresh tyres, except from Lewis, who's on 1 lap old mediums. I'm suspecting they were just all used once. Not sure if it was in this race or in the qualifying he used them, but 1 lap old should be able to get up to temperature quite quickly. We're going to be having another lap of this safety car. We should be getting going at the end of lap 17. So we see that the back of the pack has now caught back up to the rest of the field. Buckle managing to catch back up there. We should be getting underway again. Of course, if you're just joining us and you're seeing it says virtual safety car, ignore that. That's a lot of baloney right now. as we could see the Aston Martin safety car right in front of Onsu. Of course, that was one thing I really will say. We know that the game is coming out, I think it's at the end of this month, I'm unsure, I think it is, or at the end of next month, it's one or the other. But of course, it's, hopefully they've got a lot of these bugs and glitches all sorted out instead of just a rinse and repeat of the previous year with just extra monetization schemes in it. We'll see how that is. Of course, we know that the reason we don't run formation lap in this league is because there's a formation lap glitch where when everyone joins back up, it ends up just crashing and no one ends up getting their way racing. So hopefully that's all sorted out. We should be getting a message from race control in just a moment to say that the safety car is in this lap. And just as I say that, there we go, it pops up on the screen and the safety car is in at the end of this lap. So that's going to be speeding away down around turns 17 and 18 and now 19. And then turn 20 before jumping into the pits, and Onsu's going to be taking control of the safety car. Of the safety car roll, should I say. Now, is he going to leave it as late as he did before, or is he going to try and catch everyone by surprise by going a bit earlier? We will soon find out. He's keeping that planted quite nicely. And now he's gone a bit earlier trying to catch out Astube, which he has a little, and that has allowed Jake to catch up. Is he going to go for a lunge down into turn 1? Nope, doesn't look like it. Anyone else opting for a lunge? Nope, not going for it. But now Astube right on the tail of Onsu. You see Jake just trying to bear down on that Williams. He's not using any ERS just yet. He's just saving it, being a bit generous with it. Welcome along those who are watching. Glad to have you with us. We're on lap 18 here out of this 26 lap Grand Prix. Couple of safety cars and a VSC up to now. Hopefully all stays well until the end of this Grand Prix as they're just rounding turn 7. We've got Chuck and ARL swapping places. One of them's going to have to give, and it's going to be ARL, as we all know that that is a one-way street there. There is no way that traffic could go up there side by side without banging the wheels. It's almost impossible. So on with Jake now, he's using that battery now, while Astube doesn't have the DRS, and Jake will get the DRS going around as he goes around turn 2. So he's managed to move up into second place here on Astube. Nicely done there, using that battery, saving it for that moment. Now let's see, is Jake going to be able to take control of the lead of this Grand Prix? I think he's a bit too far back as things stand right now, so he's going to have to just try and fend off that attacking Williams behind right now. Chuck overtaking the Sneaky Turtle to move up into that 5th position. Buckle and Ivan swapping places also. Buckle moving up into 11th on them soft tyres, not managing to prove to be very effective. We've just seen an Alpine of Night Flash go up the inside of ARL. Now looking back down, you see Kadoy was having a peek there down the inside of ARL at turn 7, who was actually having a look on Night Flash also, so that would have been a bit catastrophic. So Kadoy did end up having to pull out of that move. Now is around in turn 12, gone through the castle section into the old city now. I'm going to move up to the front of the pack right now and see if there's going to be a change for the lead. as Jake is bearing down on that McLaren of Onsu right now as they're coming through turns 18 and 19. He's in that slipstream. He's going to get the DRS in just a few moments. He's using a bit more of that battery now, and he's almost got the overtake done just as the DRS was opening. So nicely done from Jake, who started in 16th position on the grid and has now came up to first position. Night Flash getting past Sneaky Turtle. Sneaky Turtle also moving a little under braking there on ARL. I think that was under braking, I'm unsure. Did end up missing that. But we'll keep an eye on ARL, see if he's going to be able to get this move done on Sneaky Turtle. And it looks like he did. He got a better exit out of turn 2 with the DRS also, and he's able to bear down on Night Flash, taking that inside line and securing that 7th place nicely there for Ferrari. So Ferrari currently sitting in 1st and 7th right now, and the Williams 3rd and 5th. So great results for them two teams out there. So Kadoi managed to get a move done on Sneaky Turtle going into turn 15. Is Sneaky Turtle going to be under threat from Lewis here, which it looks like he is. Lewis lifting off just that little going through turn 18. It looks like Lewis could end up getting this overtake done after getting a good exit. It looks like Sneaky Turtle's used up all of his battery, unfortunately. Lewis, though, is absolutely flying as we've seen Night Flash and ARL swapping places. ARL moving up into 6th place. Lewis trying around the outside of Kadoi at turn 1. Going into turn 2, he's going to be taking that outside line again. Is he going to manage to make it work? Is the Alpine going to take it? Yes, he is. So next up is going to be his teammate in the other Alpine, Night Flash, who's currently sitting in 7th place. Is Lewis going to be able to make that jump, considering the age difference of the tyres? Night Flash 10 lap old mediums, while Lewis is 6 lap old. And Kadoi goes a bit wide going into turn 4. That ends up leaving Sneaky Turtle to think that there was a position there that he could gain, but there was none. Baku is out. Where is that? He's done an I am stupid moment. And Ivan having to be very careful there. So we're now down to 11. We've got another safety car. Hopefully this doesn't last long. It's been a bit tedious with all the safety cars, I will say. We've had 3 safety cars and a VSC. But unfortunate there, but let's hope this will be the last one anyway. Hopefully it doesn't last that long. Jake opting for a pit stop. That's same as Chuck and Kadoi, all opting for a pit stop, all opting for the soft compound tyres. Jake's going to come out in 8th position. Can he make these positions up? He's definitely set himself a challenge here. Ivan's best goal would be to jump in for fresh softs if he had them, but unfortunately he doesn't come into the pits. Kadoi coming out in 10th position. So folks, been quite an interesting race up to now. Positions gained for Jake, 8 positions. He started in 16th, up into 8th. Sneaky Turtle up 6 places, so nice job for them. ARL's been a bit unfortunate, losing 2 positions, down in 4th position. Started in 2nd, Chuck down 3, started in 6th, down in 9th right now. Has made a pit stop, is on fresh rubber. You'll see here the bottom 4 from Jake, Chuck, Kadoy and Ivan. No, sorry, Ivan is on old soft. So they 3 there, Jake, Chuck and Kadoy, all on the fresh rubber. Are we going to get a late call from the safety car, or are we going to be going around again? It seems like we're going to be going around again. Yep, definitely we're going around it again behind the safety car, so we're going to be getting, I think it's going to be a 3-lap sprint race at the end of this Grand Prix. I will say this, take the time to say this, anyone who is watching, if you've enjoyed the video up to now, please leave a like on the video and comment your favourite moment later on after the video. And if you want to see more of this content, subscribe to the channel. I'll be going live again tomorrow night. I think, actually I need to go and check that real quick. I'm not sure if their season has finished. Is it? No, it hasn't. So that is good. So, and tomorrow, funnily enough, it's going to be Suzuka. So I'm going to have Suzuka in real life, Formula 1 in the morning, and then later on, about 13 hours later, I'm going to have the Japanese Grand Prix Round 7 for SRS. So tune into that at 8 PM tomorrow night. If you do subscribe to the channel, if you hit that little bell notification icon, you'll be able to get notified when I go live. So we should be getting the safety car in at the end of this lap, and we're going to have a 3-lap sprint race. ARL still in. Yep, he's done actually what I used to do, warming the tyres up, was just go mad on the wheel. Baku has left the session, but unfortunate there to be losing Baku at such a late stage of this Grand Prix. Of course, I was just waiting on someone to bin it at the castle section. It was just a matter of time. There's always one person. Usually it would be me if I was racing. Fortunately enough, I'm not the one racing here. It's a bit treacherous at times. Onsu, for the 3rd time now, is going to be the car taking over for the safety car. Currently in the lead. When is he going to go? He's just passed the DRS line there. We've got the start-finish line just coming up. And it looks like he's gone now. So, away we go. Are we going to get anybody going for a move? Oh, who is that? Late lunge there. That was Sneaky Turtle throwing it up the inside there and trying to get past both the Alpines. Jake is flying along through and manages to get past and up into 6th place now from 8th. Looking down at Chuck, manages to squeeze his way past a couple of cars. He's got past Lewis and Sneaky Turtle, who are both on the old medium tyres. These fresh softs are absolutely incredible against these older medium tyres, and Jake is almost managing to get past the Night Flash here. He's just waiting for that right opportunity. He needs to get a good exit from here, and he could possibly do what he's done before and get the overtake done going into turn 7, which he does. Nicely done from Jake. He's got his teammate up next. I don't think his teammate's going to be in the way for long. I think ARL will possibly move off to the side, but we'll soon see if ARL is going to fight it or not. I think it might be a bit pointless considering Jake is on the fresh softs against the older mediums. Of course, 8 laps old is quite a jump in that sense, especially against the soft tyres. So we'll stay with Jake right now, and we'll see if ARL is going to move out of the way or going to let them use that slipstream. Of course, that is always an option here, going down into turn 1. The slipstream is very effective at this track. Let's see, he's got the DRS, fortunately enough. Chuck has moved up on Night Flash. Chuck up into 6th place. ARL is going to move up past Srivatsa and take that 3rd position. Now Jake is going to make a double move and go down the inside at turn 2, taking that apex as tight as he possibly can. He's got the DRS on the Haas, using that overtake, using the battery as much as possible, and now slots into 4th position. There's not much that the Haas can do about that, but just let it happen. Now Jake has got his teammate just ahead of him. Is ARL going to let him past? That is the question. Is there going to be a little bit of teamwork at play? Not just yet, there isn't. I think they're both best just sticking with it, and if he gets close enough then he could go for it. Going through turn 8 with just, is that Night Flash? Night Flash is into the wall at turn 7. Fortunately, it's only the front wing, so he's going to be able to finish the race at the very least, just jumping at the end of this lap. We'll go back on board with the Ferraris right now. This gap is opening up a little, it seems. Nope, actually it's not. So nicely done from ARL to keep that, closing that gap. Of course, he is on the better tyres right now on the medium compound. We'll see how that is going to fare for him as they're now coming through turns 18 and 19. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That's just due to Night Flash. Just struggling a bit. I think he might have just hit the walls, just breaking that a little bit late for turn 15. Jake now moves up into 3rd place. Is he going to manage to catch Ashtube and Onsu on this final lap of this Grand Prix, as Godoy and Lewis have swapped places for that 7th position? He's got the DRS now to gain on Onsu and Ashtube. Is Ashtube going to go for the move, or is it going to be a game of DRS chicken at the end of this Grand Prix? As we do know that pretty much the one who gets the DRS at the last outing usually ends up gaining a couple of places. So Jake is in a great spot right now. He can still get this win. He just need, if he could get an overtake done, he could even get up there. He's got a full tank of battery anyway. That energy store is full to the brim right now and almost overflowing, I will say. Coming through this turn 12 section there, through the castle into the old city now, as they're bearing down on turn 15. They've only got one more braking zone left after this, and that is going down into turn 16, last braking zone, and it's foot flat to the floor. Is Jake going to manage to get a good exit? He has got a good exit. He's got that whole battery that he could play with. Turns it off for going through that little complex, that little left-right, but now going flat out all the way to the line. I think Onsu is going to steal it, but 2nd place is going to go to Jake by the slimmest of margins. Lovely job there. ARL coming home in 4th. 5th place for Chuck. Servatis comes home in 6th. 7th for Godoy over Lewis by 36 thousandths of a second. Wow, really close at the end there, guys. Lovely racing there. Jake just been a bit unfortunate there. If there was one more lap, I think he would have got it in the end. But unfortunate there for Jake. Onsu did end up walking away with the win. So nicely done, Jake, I will say. Maybe unsure if he deserves that driver of the day. He did do a very good job, of course, coming from last to finished 2nd. So nice job from him and Onsu getting that win there. So nice job there. But Jake getting that 140.115 fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Onsu taking the victory. Jake second. Astube in third. ARL fourth. Fifth for Chuck. Sravatzes in sixth. Seventh for Kodoi. Lewis in eighth. Ninth for Sneaky Turtle. Ivan in 10th, and 11 was Night Flash, who finished a lap down after retiring. The ones who did not finish, unfortunately, were Baku, Jay, Dirty Taffy, and Shui. All did not finish, and same with Thatcher's, who was disqualified. A bit unfortunate there for Thatcher's, just struggling to get the car turned back around at turn 2. So now we're going to go on to the race calendar, and it looks like it's going to be a sprint race in Mexico next weekend, and that is going to be round 15, so looking forward to that, folks. So, going to be live again tomorrow for Suzuka with SRS, and until then, everyone, take care. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like, comment your favourite moment or something, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Until then, from me, it is peace out.